What's good, internet? My name is Pruitt and welcome to my channel and welcome to my video about what I think are the best wireless headphones going into 2020. The headphone jack is basically dead, and if it's not, it's gonna be completely gone by the time 2020 rolls around. I went out and did some shopping for some friends and family this week, and I overheard a conversation that really illustrates this point perfectly. There was a wife and a husband, and they were talking in Target. They were looking for a pair of headphones that quote unquote fit the wife's phone. And she said that several times. I just need a pair of headphones that fit my phone. And I thought, what does that mean? All headphones fit all phones. That's how the headphone jack works. It's a standard. And then I realized she has a phone that doesn't have a headphone jack, an iPhone with no headphone jack. So really what she was looking for were lightning headphones, and those pretty much don't exist. So what she needed in reality were wireless headphones. It can be hard to find a pair that's worth buying because there's so many random choices. So I think after reviewing several other wireless headphones and looking on my own, I've come down to one pair that is the best for most people. And it's probably not the pair that you're expecting me to say. So whether you're buying it for yourself or buying it as a gift for someone else, I think this is the pair you should definitely be looking at. So with that said, let's take a look. Okay, so before I get into my thoughts about these headphones, let's see what you actually get in the box for your $200. Once you get the first box out of the way, you're greeted by another box, and then you open that up and the headphones are there. Get those out of the way and take the insert out, and you're greeted by some of the extras. You get a black lightning cable and several different ear tips to try to get the right fit, as well as some paperwork and a Beat sticker. So that's pretty much what you get. Not a lot, but really, it all comes down to the case and the headphones themselves. So when it comes to buying wireless headphones, I think that there are 4 things you should be considering. The first one is charging and power. The second one is fit and comfort. The third one is connectivity. The fourth one is how they sound. And then finally, consider all of the extra little features that these headphones might have that make them better than other competitors. When it comes to charging and power, the Powerbeats Pro are honestly ridiculous. They can last for up to 9 hours on a single charge, and I think that's more than most people will ever need for whatever they're doing throughout the day. You can also throw them into the charging case, and it'll combine for a total of 24 hours of listening, and that is a lot. It's really nice to have that extra battery in the case. Once you put them in there, you can plug it in the wall, and then it'll also provide 1 hour of playback after just 5 minutes of charging. So if by chance they're both dead, you can just plug it in the wall, put them in the case, and you'll be good to go for at least an hour if you have 5 minutes to spare. I love this feature when I'm going to the gym or if I'm in the car and I need to use them when I get out of my vehicle. I can plug it in really quick and I'll at least have 1 hour of playback, which is usually enough to get me by. I've used this before in other Beats products and I like it a lot. Keeping the headphones charged is really easy. The case is a no-brainer. Once you figure out the right way to put the headphones in there, it's really easy to use. So charging is super good, and that charging number beats out the AirPods and the AirPods Pro. So I think that the Powerbeats Pro really exceeds in the charging category. For the case itself, the only gripe is that it is larger than the case for the AirPods and the AirPods Pro. I personally don't find this to be a big downside. Depending on how you carry things around, you may not either, but it's something to note. It is substantially larger than what you get with the AirPods. But I don't think that it's a massive trade-off considering you get extremely good battery life. The additional size provides you with that, and it also allows the headphones to have a specific design and the way they fit around your ear. So that leads perfectly into category number 2. One tiny thing that I forgot to mention with regard to charging is there's no wireless charging. The AirPods Pro and the second edition of the AirPods do have wireless charging. These do not, so keep that in mind. Fit and comfort are critical for wireless headphones. If the headphones don't stay in your ears or if they hurt after like 20 minutes, you're never gonna want to use them. The Powerbeats Pro have no problem with this at all. They have a wing design that goes around the back of your ear that keeps the headphones in place with no problem. Even if you're moving and running and shaking your head around aggressively, I've had no problems whatsoever. There's also a silicone tip that goes into your ear like a normal headphone would, and those two combined together mean that these are gonna stay in place with no problem. They are meant for action and moving and sports, so they hold up to that billing. Because of the silicone tip, you get a good seal, so music sounds good, and that silicone tip can be replaced if you need a bigger or smaller size. I have 2 different sizes. I tried them all out. They come with a few additional options in the box. It's very standard. It'll fit 99% of people's ears. So as far as comfort, I've used these headphones for about 5 or 6 hours sitting at my desk at work, and that's when they start to get a little bit fatiguing, but you can just take them out for a couple of minutes, and when you put them back in, you kind of restart that process all over. I think 5 hours is enough to ask without getting too much discomfort. If you're using them at the gym or just for an hour or two, there is no problem. Once you get that wing design wrapped around your ear correctly and you have the right size tips, comfort is a no-brainer. It's really easy to get them to fit, stay, and feel like nothing's even there. For fit and comfort, I truly think the Powerbeats Pro are better for most people. You have options, you can fit them or mold them, make sure that they work for you, and you just have more flexibility. So I think that puts them ahead of the AirPod choices. When it comes to connectivity, the Powerbeats Pro are completely even with all the AirPods offerings. That's because Apple owns Beats, and that allows them to take advantage of the built-in pairing process that the iPhone has. So as soon as you open up the case, your phone will recognize that the headphones are there, and you basically pair up. Then every time you open the case again and take the headphones out, they'll automatically be connected. This is exactly like the AirPods, and that is a good thing. So there's not too much to say. It's really easy to open the box and start using them, and every time after that, keep them connected. No gripes whatsoever. It's awesome. On a side note, if you are using these with an Android phone, then it's just standard Bluetooth. There's no special process, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So all in all, using these headphones with whatever device you choose is honestly dead simple, especially if you have an iPhone. Apple makes it really, really easy. It's nothing to think about. You just open the case and you're on your way. And finally is sound. And I put this category last because it seems like most people don't care as much about sound. That's evident by how many people bought the original AirPods. Most people are already using headphones that sound average to bad, so these are gonna be a huge step up. I think that they definitely sound better than AirPods, and they're gonna sound phenomenal compared to any in-box headphones that came with your phone. I don't think people will be upset that these cost $200 based on how they sound. I listened to them compared to all the other headphones that I had in my house, including some over-ear headphones, and they sound really good, ranking near the top of what I own at least. There's a lot of bass, which isn't surprising for a Beats product, but even in listening to music that had a lot more mid and high tones, like high pianos or electronic music that has much higher pitched sounds, it still sounded really, really clear. There's a good distinction between low, mids, and highs, and they blew most of the other in-ear headphones I have out of the water. And they got pretty close to the presence and sound stage of some over-ear headphones. Granted, they're not super expensive. So I think that people will be happy. They're not gonna blow any audio files away, but the sound is good to great depending on the music you listen to. And for streaming music, I think that they fit just fine. And finally, the last category is just extras. So for these headphones, the biggest extra is they have autoplay pause. When you take them out of your ear, it'll automatically stop playing your music or your podcast. And when you put your headphone back in, it'll play it again. That's a really nice thing to have, especially if you're using them in public. The second thing that's nice is the water/sweat resistance. So they are marketed as being more workout style headphones. And if you do happen to be outside when it's raining a little bit, you'll be good to go there as well. The fast charge feature definitely cannot be overstated. That is a massive part of what makes these headphones so good. And finally, you can take phone calls with them, although I don't think most people are gonna be doing that unless they have to. I've used them for phone calls and they are just dead average. And the final extra is that it does charge using a lightning cable. That could be a huge plus or a negative for you. If you use an iPhone, then it's gonna be great because you've already got that cable sitting around being used every day. If you're using these with an Android device or with something like, say, an iPad Pro, could be a downside because those devices typically use USB-C and you'd have to have another cable. So it's something to mention, but it could be a pro or it could be a con depending on who you are. So those are my thoughts on the Powerbeats Pro. I really like these headphones. I like them better than any other wireless headphones that I've used before. I think at 200 bucks, they're definitely worth the money. I know $200 isn't nothing, but they're definitely worth it. So if you pick them up for yourself or for a friend or family member this holiday, let me know down in the comments below what you think about them. I really appreciate you watching this video. Thanks for coming to my channel. If you liked it, then get friendly with that like button. And if you loved it, then think about subscribing to my channel. I'm gonna keep making videos about technology and I'd love it if you came back and watched them. All right, later.